Hey there, Heather Boyd here. Welcome to day 9 of the 10-day acrylic painting challenge. Today we are painting clouds with acrylic paints. This is a super fun project. We're going to mix some blue with some white on our palette, and we are going to go ahead and fill in the background with some medium tone blue. So just grab a brush and fill in the whole background with a medium blue. You can add white to certain areas. You can make it lighter at the top, darker at the bottom, or keep it all pretty consistent. We just need to fill it all in with a medium blue, and then we're going to do our clouds on top. Keep in mind this video is in fast motion. Now we're going to go in with our scruffy brush and some white, and we are going to just dab on some paint to form the clouds. This is a nice chunky brush with a soft end. You can also do this with a sponge if you prefer. And then around the bottom of the cloud, we're going to make it a little bit darker, so you can put a little bit of black, just a teeny bit, with our blue and make it a little more gray. Then you could blend it with your finger for a softer look. So we're just going to go around and blend it out a little bit. If you don't like to get your fingers painty, you could always wear some latex gloves. And now we're going to do another cloud. Again, this is fast motion. You can take your time with it, and make sure you have a nice scruffy brush, and we're just going to load those clouds on there. This is actually a Donna Dewberry scruffy brush from her decorative art brush kit. You can get this on Amazon, or you can get similar brushes in the art store. So now we're doing a little bit of shadow at the bottom of the clouds. Just gives it a lot more depth and interest when you put a bit of darker underneath. And you can go back and forth from light to dark to make sure you have a nice balance. And they look really nice when you smooth them out a little bit with your finger to give it a softer look. So you just take the end of your finger and kind of rotate it around over the paint. And then depending on what kind of composition you want, you can add more clouds as you go. And they could be wider in the middle and skinnier as they get out. And try to make them all a little bit different. Have a little bit of variety with your shape. You don't just want blobs of like oval shaped clouds. Give them a little bit of interesting shape and some contrast within the cloud as well, with some lights and darks. Now I'm going in with a little more light, and then going back to my upper one and lightening it up a little bit at the top, so it almost gives the impression that the sun is shining from above and the tops of the clouds are lighter. Then I decided to add another little cloud in there. And if you need more contrast, go in and get a little bit more of the gray to make it shadowy underneath. This is a super fun project. You can do this on paper as well if you want to practice and just have a lot of fun with it, play around with it. And you can also look at pictures of clouds. If you Google search, or if you have your own photos of clouds, it would be a great reference. It always helps to have a reference picture rather than just doing it from your imagination, just to make it look a little bit more accurate. So now I'm going in and getting a little bit more dark. For the shadow, you can add some blue to it as well. You're going to just have to play around with it to see what looks good. And now we're going to make it a little more shadowy underneath. It really makes it pop. It makes it more three-dimensional when you add this shadow underneath. And you can use a smaller brush for this as well. Have a good variety of brushes on hand, so when you need different sizes that you have them available. Just kind of rotate the brush around. You want to follow the puffiness of the cloud and do any other little touch-ups that you need. And there's our finished cloud painting. So for this one, I'm doing a different type of background. I mixed kind of a orangey, pale white tone in the back. I'm blending some white on there. And we're just going to fill in the background with this kind of neutrally peachy colored tone. And then we're going to do the clouds on top of that background once it's dry. Going in with a bigger scruffy brush, starting with some darker clouds, working quickly, just blending the paint on the canvas, keeping it nice and soft. I'm not worrying too much about the composition for this one. I'm just playing around with it to experiment with making the clouds. It's interesting to have a different color background on it. And we can use a bit of dry brush too if you just want a little bit of color. And then we're going to go in and add some more white, some more lighter blue. So we want to be careful to keep a nice contrast of lights and darks. And just play around. Putting more light. And as I said, it's better to have a photo on hand just to have an idea of how the clouds look. But you can also just wing it and play around with it. Again, I'm going to blend with my finger. I just really like the effect of how it looks when you blend it with your finger. We'll put some more lights at the top. Finger painting clouds. Super fun. There, I just dipped my finger right in the paint and went for it. It'd be fun to do the whole thing just with your finger as well. These look almost more like stormy clouds. You can make them more gray and menacing if you like. Maybe even try to make a tornado. That might be fun. And there we have the finished piece on the peach background.
I would love to see pictures of your creations. You can email photos to heatherboydwire@gmail.com, or you can join my private Facebook group, Heather Boyd Art. You can share photos of your creations from the 10-day acrylic painting challenge and any other of your mixed media artwork. So thanks so much for watching the video. Thank you to everybody who is participating in the 10-day acrylic painting challenge, and we'll see you the next time.